Yo, what up, chat? Today we're gonna be going over the top 16 deck list from this past weekend's provisionals. The weekend being the 16th, 17th of April. The 16th and 17th of April. So let's go ahead and rock that. Starting with our 16th place fan of the stream, Chris Smith's All Might 3 under the good symbol. Under the good symbol. I'll turn my mummies down just a little bit. Up just a little more. Right there. That's perfect. Okay. So, All Might 3, kind of a straightforward deck. I don't have a ton that I get to talk about with a lot of these decks because the format's kind of figured out. Oh, what's going on with my camera? I have my webcam on? Oh, look how beautiful I am now. The format is like pseudo figured out, right? The format, we kind of know what's going on and what it is that we want to be playing. And so I want to talk about the outliers of the things that I think are interesting inside of the deck. The biggest thing that I'm seeing out of this deck, and something that draws my attention, is the stock and Heroic Strike. I love this card. I think this card is fantastic. I think this card is so exceptionally good. I love this card. I love this card a ton. The other big thing that I'm seeing not inside of this main board that I would be changing is he put the Hardened Pummels in the sideboard. I don't know if he, because Chris was like a win in away from topping at the top 8 at Omaha the previous weekend, and so I don't know if he felt like the pummels weren't there, or if this is the exact list, or so on and so forth. But I value Heroic Strike so much in especially like Midoriya 1, and so I'm glad that we're seeing it here. Texas Smash into a Heroic Strike and then giving speed off of All Might. Like, this is a beating. This is an 8 damage move that like absolutely goes buck wild. The other big thing that I'm missing out of this deck is note taking. There's no note taking here. Right? Note-taking says that you get to take your Texas Smash and make sure with note-taking plus All Might, they always hit. Like, it's like a second copy of All Might's ability, right? Of the plus speed, and then you can either shoot it over to damage or over to speed. Love Celebrity Status. I think Resistance is really neat. Mainly at the 3, great. Hardened. I think Hardened's like an okay card, but we're playing only triple jab. 2 Hardens. I'd actually probably play more attacks than this. Funny enough. 1 planning ahead is interesting. I wonder how often this got off. Especially if we're being in the main board. Like, wouldn't we just rather this planning ahead be a 4th pull no punches to like really punish deadlock? It's interesting. Other than that, stats wise main deck. Yeah, I mean, your blocks look good. Sideboard-wise, love the double capture evildoers. I would rather have one main than one side, and then maybe we like get to side up bonus one. But I think hitting this 60 number is good. And then I wonder how often Staggering Positivity went in. It might have been there exclusively for the Eraserhead match, just to punish his erases. But I think good players are going to play around this card a lot. I don't really know who else this really hurts. Maybe like Momo going and fighting Staff Strikes. That's really all I can think of is like messing with like exclusively those 2 decks. I guess you could mess around with the air decks. The bird, I guess. I think the bird being able to pick up 1 per turn and milling the top 5, like putting them back in the deck, is like more 5 checks for the bird. I don't think that staggering is going to get there quick enough for it to matter. And it being like a 2/4 2 high block, I don't know. It's interesting. Putting people 2 checks back in their deck for worse checks, that's fine, but I think that only works whenever is super late in the game. And that's not really All Might's idea. All Might's idea is kind of just to play like the world's best mid-range deck. He doesn't want to go to late game. All in all, I think this is a fine list. I think this is like your standard All Might list. There's a little bit of spice in here, and I enjoy it. I dig it. Congrats to Chris Smith. Up next, we've got 15th place with Marcus McKinney's Ricardo Sato deck. We'll see what this thing looks like. 21 attacks. Cool. 1 grasping. Good deadlock. Jolt. High engine. Indiscriminate. I think this is great in this deck. 4 setup. I like this a lot because stun only gets you so far, right? Double engine rush is neato. I don't love this card, but I think it's fine. And then Recipro Extend. Let's look at block zones. Are these the only low blocks? Low blocks are just Indiscriminate and Rush. Yeah, I don't know what I would replace for Engine Rush, but I'm not positive that it's the best call here, right? I'm a big fan. Hold up. Moneta in the sideboard is sweet. Moneta in the sideboard is very, very cool. This is very, very cool, Marquise. We'll go back to none. Okay, Foundation. How many cards is this deck? 63 cards? Kind of not what you normally see for a character that like wants to cycle, especially because I know Marquise comes from a different card game and like consistency is king, right? And seeing a 63 card deck in the character that like gets rid of the pieces that he wants. He only has 8 high blocks. How does this man top with 8 high blocks? This is an air format, sir. How did you top with 8 high? I want to eat this man alive. Wow, that's crazy. Maybe he just got there with like good defense, right? Like creepy realizations. Tape gets to make it up, but he's only playing 1. Okay, we gotta look at quantity here. Okay, what did he value at the 4 of? Sticky balls, great choice. Creepy, great choice. Self-sacrifice, great choice. Passing, obviously, gotcha. Shock treatment, requesting assistance. We're playing a singleton calling for backup in Sato. Huh. I mean, I agree with the idea of fulfilled, right? I think fulfilled my duty is perfect at the 1 of. Eat my sticky balls. We had double full Cowling Strike. Love that. We hate Nomu. We hate that guy. More Deadlock hate. Single plus Ultra. Man, this is an interesting list. I feel like this is like the version 1 of a list, and it could have been a bit more optimized. Love the Desperate Times. Natural Leader is cool. I love to think fast. I think Short Circuit like doesn't even need to be in the deck, right? How many low bucks we got? I think the issue is we have too many mids. I think that's actually what's going on here, right? Like Creepy could have been down to a 3 of, Sticky could have been down to a 3 of. Shock Treatment being at a 4 of is insane to me, actually. Like this is a good tactic with the Electric Jolts, but I don't think you need 4 of this bad boy. I think 2 is the magic number, and then side a 3rd if you feel like you absolutely need it. But this like saves you 2 mid blocks, and you can like toss in more highs, like more Desperate Times. I think a Natural Leader is insane in our deck, right? Like we say that the abilities on things like it can't be fixed, right? Like I'll commit my Natural Leader, it can't be fixed, can't be used, and then I'll stun you out. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think cards like Short Circuit suck, and I'll say that for every list that has it. Yeah, the big spice here is the fact that like, congrats to this guy for topping with 8 high blocks. That's insane. And then I wonder how many times Moneta came in from the board, right? That'd be interesting to know. Interesting to know. But yeah, congrats on the top. Up next, we've got Steven Gibbs, Water Asui. This is the most 4 ofs I've ever seen, huh? He said, these are the good ones, and we're just going to play the good ones. It's funny to see a list like Marquise's in a list like this, where Marquise is playing like a plethora of 1 ofs, and he's just like, there are no 1 ofs. The lowest we have is a 2 of, which we've got 2 more in the sideboard, right? Or this Frozen is the least represented card in our deck at 2. 4 Observant, 4 Gotcha, triple Think Fast, which I think is possibly one of the most underrated water cards in the game. I think this card kills people way more often than it should. Sticky, first fill-in, Walkling, rescue completed, tape, Walkling. Yeah, I think Mighty Rivers is right. I think the biggest miss here is that we have no ice storms, right? Well, I mean, even bringing in like 2 ice storms might be what it's worth. But I think the coolest, spiciest thing we have is the giant ice wall. So we already giving speed to our moves. A giant ice wall stunning things out if we happen to get a momentum, like on a Crow and Frog that we don't necessarily want to kick, right? Like it feels really bad blocking Crow and Frog. I think Crow and Frog is the biggest thing that Crow and Frog gives you in Asui, is it gives you that momentum, right? Yeah, it gives you that momentum. So now your Giant Ice Wall is like stun 4 on stuff. Like playing Giant Ice Wall into a Frigid Heat Wave. It's a 7 high for X or 4 plus X with stun 2, then stun 2, and then draws you cards, and then like just like pop off harder. Giving Frog Lashing stun 2, insane. And then we had like just enough breaker with breaker here and breaker here that maybe like we just didn't need the Ice Storm, right? Maybe we just didn't need it. Like what? If I bring in Ice Storm, what comes out? Crow and Frog? I don't want that. I want my cards to not count as progressive. This card's just like another copy of using Asui, right? Like it discards the card out of the card pool without discarding it out of the card pool, right? Discards it without like triggering Amphibious, but like you get to keep your ready foundation or your face-up foundation so that you get to discard stuff later. Yeah, I like the deck. I think this is like the tip of the iceberg Asui. It's very, very consistent and it works. There's not a lot of spice here, right? I think the only spice is the lack of spice with no Giant Ice Walls. Yeah, maybe you can consider Giant Ice Wall spice. Huh. Interesting, we've got 4 Sticky Balls. I wonder if Sticky Balls... I mean, is Sticky Balls the new coordinated, right? I guess we'll look at the other lists that can play this card and see if they're also playing it out of 4 of. Because, I mean, having a 3/5/2 mid-block unique is very reminiscent of coordinated, right? That you play 4 of. So, I mean, maybe. We'll see how the rest of the lineup goes. Once again, shout out to Stephen Gibbs for the 14th place. Up next, we have our Swiss champ. We've got Andrew Williams playing Kurogiri, which all throughout my day I heard Kurogiri was playing and doing well, and I was my entire question was, how is this man killing anybody? And it looks like this is our answer, but it's a 2 of. I mean, it's this one, right? Like these are 2 big kill conditions. You use our tape toss to push them down to the spooky range, and then leverage our selective draw or making sure we have good checks in order to play what we want. Attack-wise, I mean, Jolt's fantastic. It's crazy we only have double burst. How is he killing people? Eventually. Yeah, I guess that's the answer, Satonas. Man, I think the craziest thing about this is that we don't actually have indiscriminate shock in this deck. Even at a 2 of, I think that card is fantastic. No low blocks on any of our attacks. I mean, I guess that feels fine if we're fighting against a bunch of ice storms, right? Like we don't have to hold the low blocks there, but I feel like indiscriminate, not even in the sideboard. It's kind of crazy. Big thing here sideboard wise is we do have Sero in the 4x tape swings, which I think I would love to know. I would love to know how many times we did sideboard into Sero to make slightly more health and change up our kill condition, right? As opposed to like this really fast, really big move to spend on our momentum. We now have more pseudo throws, right? We've got throws with the grasping. We've got like the world's lamest throw with Jolt, and then tape swing, more grasping take toss in the sideboard. Like playing an order throw deck might be what gets us there. For gotcha for tape, one thing fast, beautiful, bonds, passing, creepy at a 4 of is interesting. Really trying to keep our 19 health character alive. That makes sense. Only 2 sticky balls. Whew. Calling for backup. Great. Fulfilled my duty at the 2 of. 1 more in the sideboard. Good versus Staff Strike. Good versus Froppy, honestly. Being able to fulfilled my duty, her second card is great. Maybe there's more stock in this card than I'm giving credit for, just because of 3 heal. Are you the one who played Kurogiri? Is this you? Do I have the Swiss champ gracing my presence in my stream? We'll keep going while he waits. 1 natural leader. Interesting. I think this card's super, super rad. 1 heroic, 2 self-sacrifice, 1 short circuit. Once again, I don't like this card. I think it might be sitting down as Ochako, sitting down as Jiro. I look at this card and I go, this card's very blank. And so, like, I don't like this card, but it might just be, like, I'm biased because of the deck that I'm choosing to play, right? If I'm playing as Asui and I've got a 14 damage Tongue Whip, 14 damage Lashing, like, this card's detrimental. If I'm fighting against the Mirror Match and I get a Recipro Burst to 100, Short Circuit feels great. Congratulations, 3-Heal. Congratulations. Doing the thing that literally nobody thought was possible. Top Swiss champing with Kurigiri. Insane. If you had told me Kurigiri Swiss champed one of these provisionals, I would tell you that that is insane and that our game is incredibly healthy. Double plus ultra, 1 extra. What's their plan? I think this list is red. I think the only thing that I would maybe change, and I'm sure 3-Heal can say in the chat, is I don't love the lack of indiscriminate, but I guess without like the bonus speed that indiscriminate has, it's just block hate, or it's just block bait. Right? How often did you Recipro Burst people? Were you just holding on to this card all the time? That's the big question. Because like otherwise, like I don't see a real kill condition here, right? It's literally you check these two off of this, and like we don't know. Like what do? You just grind them out with these sick 4 damage moves. 4 damage. Oh, 6? That one's pretty good. Plus ultra something fast, I guess. Like there's like your second kill condition. Anyways, I think this list is good, and I'm pretty sure that I saw 3-Heal say in Alliteration Gaming's chat that he's going to do a deck profile over on his channel. And so make sure you go and you look for that. Honestly, I didn't think I could give it enough speed, so I basically going to depend on my opponent disrespecting my offense. That's fair. That's super fair. That is a fair logical take. I just think that card's so good to force a low block to make sure that your bursts hit, right? Like stunning them out as much as you can. Maybe even like giving it some bonus stats with something along the lines of like a change zone, think fast, or something, or plus ultraing it, right? Like I think that like it might be there, and it's a low block, right? What's our low block count look like? Yeah, only 11 here. I'd be afraid of other indiscriminate decks, right? And that's like one of the secret hidden techs of indiscriminate, is it blocks indiscriminate. I just want my entire win con to be outed by plus ultra tape swing cling. I think that's totally fair. I think that's a totally fair take. But anyways, congratulations, 3-Heal, better known as Andrew Williams, for the stunning 13th place. We're gonna move on to Kirk Polka, playing as Ochako 1, the girl. Playing under the life symbol, our first life Ochako out of 5. Boom, 5 Ochakos topped this event, which is actually insane to me. And I really enjoy Life Ochako. I think that Air is the stronger build, personally, or at least the build that I enjoy. But this is certainly a safer build. For Life Ochako, the main strategy that we implore here is we go Meteor Shower and Amphibious Ambush as like the main thing that happens. We got Naval Laser Beam for a sick breaker, a thing that like the air symbol doesn't have. Frog Lashing is an absolute killing, especially if we have any of these flip foundations that we get to start popping off with our tight whips. Meteor Shower loops, gravity loops, only 2-0 gravity loops. Whoa, with a 3rd in the board. That's sweet. I actually ended up losing to a Life Ochako inside of rounds, and the main killer was actually Setup Strike. Setup Strike was the thing that really got there for the character, because it like is accidentally 5 damage. And it said that it's a second copy of our character's ability of the +3 speed, right? I know that I'm playing a 5 difficulty move in my deck in order to get this second copy of my 3 speed, and that's zone dependent. This is a 4 diff 5 damage move for it. So this is rad. Correct. We're going in ascending order. So this is cool. This is really this is good stuff. Is there anything in here that is big spicy? Big spicy. Double instant Shining Flash is interesting in the sideboard because like the decks that this card really hates on are the air decks, and a lot. I mean, look at your own lineup: high, high, mid. We get to block this one. High, 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 high. This card's a low block. This card's a low block, and the best use of it is to block. Lava Choco without Tongue Smack is funky. I think that card is technically overrated, even though I got mollywopped by it. I think it's just like they're valuing Frog Lashing over Smack, right? But like we have 4 passings that do that job. We've got Observant Student at Deadlock that does that job. Yeah, I think we were just a little more in on the Meteor Shower ambush rather than the Smack, right? What I think is interesting is we only have 1 first villain encounter. I think first villain encounter with Amphibious Ambush is really, really good. Commit, give my Meteor Shower the 1/1. We then first villain encounter. I then ambush, making this still on a 5 difficulty. I go ahead and pay my tax up front of Commit My Foundation rather than later. Because I get the bonus stats on this thing. Then we shoot Meteor to our momentum. We shoot Amphibious to our momentum. With Ochako, we pick up the Meteor. We then, Ochako, then pick up the Amphibious Ambush once it leaves. We play the Meteor. We pick up Amphibious. We do it again. This 2-card combo ends up being 5 attacks. And so this is just 25 damage just sitting on the board. It's even more with Tight-Lipped. I think Life Ochako might see some real play because of how good Meteor Shower Amphibious Ambush is, and I'm glad that it made a real showing here at this event. Double Amphibious, double Infinite Potential is interesting. Love the double release. I wonder how often Encouraging Training Partner came into play. I don't think the top response is terribly good, but I think Change the Speed to 4 is fantastic. That's very good. Yeah. Stats. These guys only playing 9 low blocks. We had 50 cards. This is a tight 50. I mean, that might be why, right? Maybe we could cut like some of these to find more low blocks? Question mark. We got 4 there. We only have 2 there. I mean, we could cut it encouraging for 1 more self-sacrifice, right? At least get our number up to 10. That'd be nice. Double-digit low blocks. That'd be cool. Maybe. No low blocks on the attacks, right? Exclusively ambush. And then instant Shining Flash, maybe. We do have the other wall clings in the sideboard, right? Yeah, 2 here, 2 here, just to fight those decks. 1 more first villain to fight Deadlock. Another plus Ultra. Yeah, I think the list is fine. I think that I would love to know. I mean, what did he lose to, right? He lost to like up here, like 7th place, 6th place, 7th place. So he's like All Might 3 or Ochako 1. Looks like the other Ochako 1 is also playing Life. Yeah, I think Kirk maybe could have played more low blocks. Wealthy Aspiration is right there with the character's face on it. NO1 low. Wealthy Aspiration. Oh yeah. Also not in the deck. Yeah, and I think Wealthy Aspiration has a lot of stock whenever you're playing these Meteor Shower decks, because for every Wealthy Aspiration, it's essentially an extra Meteor Shower, right? Yeah, and I think that card might just be better even at a 1-of over one of these Encouraging Training Partners. But maybe he tested it and he didn't like it so well. But anyway, yeah, shout out to Kirk for a vet of the game playing Ochako, the girl. We love it. Up next, on to 11th, we've got Saul Penna playing good All Might 3. Let's see how this list differs from. Let's see how the list. I'll just sit back and listen to the GOAT. Are you referring to me, the 5-3 king, the man who's never won 6 games of My Hero in a row in his life? You're referring to me as the GOAT? Because that's wrong. No shot. I'm the GOAT. I'm not doing a list on my own deck, right? All right. All Might 3. Okay, so the biggest thing about this list that I'm seeing is we've got 4x Missouri Smash, which I've tested Missouri Smash a lot inside of All Might 3, like a ton, like so much. This is an incredibly greedy card. This is one of those cards that says it wants to be a 5 diff and it wants to not be blocked. So the second move, it's a 5 damage move that doesn't want to be blocked. So like the best thing that you can do is like setup strike into this. Setup strike, give setup strike the speed. So like they're using bonus resources. And then Missouri Smash to draw your card, give it more speed. It gets even more speed because of the setup. It gets more speed because of All Might. I get to build a thing down. I get to keep popping off. But the best thing that we can build is the best thing we can build down is is passing the torch, right? Right? Excuse me? Excuse me? What 2 diffs are you playing? Oh, I see. You know what? I'm back in. I'm back in. This list is sick. This list is so sick. I'm in. I'm in. This is Saul, how did you enjoy this list? Because this is essentially the list that I was going to be playing if I put All Might together. I probably wasn't going to play Setup Strike. I probably was going to play 4x of the Midoriya Secret Rare. Because I just wanted to draw more cards. Okay, so now that I actually understand, because it took me seeing the spam. Look at this. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards in his 57 card deck that are not spam, not 0 or 1 diff foundations. All of these cards are to be built out. His entire goal is to build 6-on-1 and then play as many attacks as he possibly can. And so extending out his chain with Missouri Smashes and such, hardened jabs, hardened chops is amazing. Is very, very good. Texas Smash to like swing in those really big moves. And the MVP of the deck, I'm sure, was Capture Evildoers. You steal a momentum and then as soon as you get 1 momentum off of whatever these things, probably like a hardened chop early, right? You take and play a move, clear your card pool, play a move, clear your card pool, play a move, and just rock it, right? Like this card is the MVP of this style deck. I think this deck is very, very fragile. And I think that's probably like the biggest thing about this is this deck. He wants to play as many cards as he can, but if you have somebody who can disrupt him with Breaker, if you have somebody who can disrupt him with card pool stuffing on his opponent's turn, if you have ways to in his enhanced step with things like Fulfilled My Duty, I think this deck is incredibly fragile. But if you don't have any, if you're trying to just race car somebody, right? You got 2 taco truck decks just running at each other. I think this deck possibly does it the best in the format, actually. 6 hand size, 30 life, 8 hand size, 30 life. Get free stats, playable while committed, so you can even use them to pass checks if you already have enough gas, and then just jam so many cards. It can defend sneaky good, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you just got nothing but offense on your turn, you can save the draw for your opponent's turn, and then now you've just got 2 extra cards to block with. Yeah. I beat it in Swiss by taco trucking him. Yeah, I mean that might be the way you have to. I don't know. Good at taco fight, then Kamu beats him for free. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, you got a deck that can go toe to toe and block out. Then yeah, this is cool. I like this deck a lot. This deck was on my short list to play. I think this deck is really, really neat. Yeah. Congratulations, Saul. This is sweet. We'll move on to Thomas Bagwell, our 10th place deck. A Chaco 3 or Chaco 1 under life. For Frog. Yo, Project, thank you so much. The whole 4 months with the tier 1s. Thank you. Frog Lashing, Meteor Shower. Ambush only had 2 of in this deck. 1 Naval, 1 setup, not the 3. This person, Thomas, right? Thomas is valuing 0 gravity lift over the setup strike as opposed to what Kirk was doing, which is interesting. What is going on with the sideboard? He said these cards are to kill you with. He said when I need the sauce, I need the sauce. 0 gravity capture, probably just to make up for his low blocks. Yep. It's just a good 2 low block under the life symbol. So we got 4 of these. So if your opponent is swinging some effective low attacks, you just swap out your mid, swap out your highs, and put in the lows. Love that. Another 50 card deck, right? I think you have to run a pretty tight ship whenever you're trying to play this amphibious meteor shower type look. It's pretty good. It does have the word deadlock on it. Add 1 momentum to your hand, which I guess is just like, man, are just all of Ochako's cards just like more copies of her character? A deadlock, copy your character. Copy your character, copy your character. Copy your character. This is what her character does. It's just her cards just do more Ochako things. Funny. Onto the foundation lineup. 4 Walklings, 4 tight-lipped. I'm seeing double amphibious. Man, that's crazy. I guess, like, if you have to make cuts, because I'm playing a 66 card deck with 22 attacks under air, right? And I feel like amphibious is, like, the freest card of all time. Like, it's 2 foundations every single turn on my turn. Like, cutting this card down to a 2 of just seems crazy over top of, like, an encouraging trading partner. Like, I would play this at a 2 of and this at a 3 of, right? That's how I feel, right? I'm trying to get the job done. But this, I guess, this is just enough either speed hate or speed hate, right? Like them using their specialist of sounds to put my things at minus speed to then put it back up to 4 speed. Like, that feels great. 4 passing, 4 bonds. Yeah, I think this is the list. And I'm really happy that we're seeing this Life Ochako do so well at this event because everybody's been on air, right? Like Mark Tyner last week got second with an air deck. Levi with Alliteration Gaming just got a top with an air deck. So it's cool to see this air deck or this life deck, excuse me. And we're gonna see a chaos list probably in the next video. So there's that. Yeah, I think so this deck is definitely way more in on your meteor shower loops rather than the like home run comet, because setup strike in a home run comet is like really good. Maybe the answer could have been something like let's cut 1-0 gravity lift for 1 more setup strike and do 3 and 2 just to round out our base, right? Because setup strike into frog lashing when we've got like a ton of face downs is like really good. I think that might be the only tech change I could make inside of this lineup. Yeah. No specialist, no jolt. Training stonks go up. Yeah, I guess. That's fair. Anywho, we'll move on to the last deck of this video. We've got Brandon Jones's 9th place deck of Atsui. I love the name of the deck. Let's see what we got going on. Double Eat My Sticky Balls, Frigid Heatwave, Ice Storm, Frog Lashing, Tongue Whip, Frog Kick, Tongue Smack, double plus ultra. Okay. Anything crazy? Grasping in the sideboard for some deadlock threats. Love that. The 4th Ice Storm for a little more disruption. I would love to know how we felt about only the 2 sticky balls and how often we saw sticky balls with Tongue Whip, because like these 2 are just like made for each other, right? Like 2 peas in a pod. And then how Tongue Smack is. Did we have enough high blocks? We maybe could have taken out the Tongue Smack for more sticky balls, but at the same time, this draw of Tongue Smack feels good, right? Like it's a 6 high for 6 that draws a card. Like that feels wonderful. Like it's a good card at her. I think I mean obviously she plays it best. It's got her big dumb face on it. All in all, I would love to know, and I see you're in the chat. I found it enough. I don't hate Tongue Smack as much as everybody else does. How are your Frigid Heatwaves playing out of 3 of? I feel like this deck probably wants to do a 2 of, maybe 3 of. 3 seems fine, right? And a block high, just fine. Okay. I mean, you also have tape and Walkling, right? Like you've got great options to and self assured at the 2 of, right? Like you've got great options to like mix up your block zones. I wonder how Frigid Heatwave is. This card is like some of the highest highs and the lowest lows inside of the game. I think this is cool. How many load blocks we playing? We're playing 16. I mean, maybe that's good enough just to play that, right? Because we don't have a ton of loads inside of our main board. Only one observant student. Crazy. Yeah, all in all, I think that, and as we see more, right? We've seen 14th place Stevens Oswey deck. We've now seen 9th place for Brandon. We don't have another one until we have the winner for Daniel Nelson, and so we'll see how they work. I don't think Steven was playing Smack, right? Is that true? I don't want to go back to his list. I don't think he was playing Smack. No, he was playing just a bunch of 4-ofs. He wasn't even playing like Frog Kick or whatever, right? If I recall. He was just popping off with a ton of 4-ofs. This deck looks a little bit more nuanced with its choices, right? Like we've spread our net just a little bit to like capture more of the meta, right? Things like only 3 sticky balls as opposed to I think Steven was playing 4. If I have to play Daniel Nelson in the top 16 for the 3rd time in a row, I'm gonna lose my mind. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. I'm sure that's tough, but it's fun to have those rivalries, you know. For Amphibious, obviously. For Tape, obviously. For Creepy, yes. It's a tactic too well with Tongue Whip not to. I love the double frozen here. Popping these unusable cards. This essentially says destroy for stun 1 on any move that I want. A little anti-synergistic with Frog Lashing because normally we destroy face downs, right? But a really good way to keep ourselves out of deadlock if we need that pressure. Double Irrefutable. Are we playing more Irrefutable than sideboard? Only 3 Irrefutable across the board. I wonder how that works. I think this is a 4-of main board all the time. Double Self-Assured, triple Wall Clean makes sense. Double First Fill Encounters, okay. My issue with Water decks is I just want to jam 4 of every card of the deck, right? Like I think having 4 First Fill Encounters in an Otsui deck is like so good. But like I get the restraint of like only putting it in a 2-of. Triple Rescue completed. Observant Student, Desperate Times. That's fucked up, Lenoco. I think the biggest hole in this deck's armor, honestly, is just Deadlock, right? Like the only Deadlock that we really have is just 2x First Villain. We've got 1x Observant Student, and our other Deadlock is just all on the sideboard, right? We got the Grasping, and then that's it. I guess Ice Storms exist, right? Ice Storms fine Deadlock, but like +2 speed only goes so far when it's a Deadlock. +2 speed that can't be reduced. I think that might be the thing, and I wonder as you do that, how often were your opponents going into deadlock and punishing you for that? Were you able to push through that, or were they just not threatening at all because of the thought, the idea of water symbols deadlock threats? Because they got some of the best. I think Observer Student is actually pound for pound the best deadlock card in the game inside of Otsui, and so only having the 1-of, I feel like you're just not allowed to flip this card. Would love to know your thoughts. Besides that, I think the deck is really, really well rounded. And I wished so bad that I had Grasping main. Yeah, I could totally see that. I think like having a throw to finish off games or threaten like more stuff. Like, I mean, this Deadlock Enhance is so clutch. It's so good. Your opponent goes to 11, you just spin back 2 of the best moves. That's great. That's that's wonderful. It's very, 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 very strong. So yeah. But yeah, this is the top the bottom 8 decks, top 16 to 9th decks that we had over the Provisional this past weekend. If you're interested, there'll be another video covering the top 8 decks. So make sure you do all the cool YouTube stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know what to do. So with that, we'll see you in the next one. I wish you well.